got Big J in here. We got Big J.
Because we
Salute
don't pay
to-
property taxes where there's economic violence. Why? Because there's no homes, there are
Black people
apartments.
aren't owning.
If you got the mafia, they got money. If you got everybody else,
Niggas-
so hold on. When you get the African American young man who looks across the fence and he sees the mafia brother, or he sees the other brother who's doing it, and yet he can't have what he have, guess who he gonna take it away from? His own people. Master taught us that. Well, good morning. You're on with Big J, and you know what time it is. It's time to talk sports, news, and information. We are excited to be on again another day to bring you our narrative that consists with our audience who appreciate the content that is developed here. Again, you are amazing. To all those who have subscribed to Big J Let's Talk, you know, let's get into it. But I want to thank all those who are participating in the channel, those who are commenting, those who are liking. You are amazing, for you are an asset and never a liability. If you have not joined our channel yet, now would be a great opportunity to become a part of what we're doing here at Big J Let's Talk. All you have to do is hit that subscription button and then go over to your right and hit the bell icon, go down and smash that like button. The YouTube algorithm loves it when you do that. Make it dance. Also, make sure that you leave a comment. If you comment and talk to us, we'll talk back 100%. We love to dialogue. We want to thank our moderators who are always consistent in laboring in the comments and a part of the channel. Thank you very much. Before we continue, I want to make sure that you can follow us on all social media. All right, so take your time. Make sure that you can follow us on all social media. If you're on YouTube, you know it's Big J Let's Talk. On Twitter, it's Big J Let's Talk. On Facebook, it's Big J Let's Talk. On our Instagram page, it's different. And what you want to go to on Instagram is Big J Let's. If you're on Instagram, you want to go to Big J Let's. Okay, so let's get into the thumbnail. Again, we're excited. I want to talk about Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley. A lot of individuals are talking about the narrative. They're into it. They're really pumped up about it. You know, Jake Paul and Logan Paul, they're the millionaire brothers who are Facebook conglomerates. In other words, they're making so much money via YouTube, forgive me for saying Facebook, they have reached a certain level of stardom that's not known to many as far as YouTube is concerned. But what I want to talk about, these individuals have ventured back into doing things that are not, I wouldn't say conducive, but they're not regular within the mainstream of sports. You have two YouTubers now who have ventured into the sport of boxing. And the funny thing about this is they don't need a license. They don't need anything that's the boxing regulation sanction. They're just able to put on these $1 million fights and go out, pick opponents, and fight. We saw that happen with Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather actually knocked him out and held him up in the fight. Floyd was paid how much? Floyd Mayweather was paid $100 million for that fight. But here's the difference, and they said that fight was fixed and set up, and we all saw that to be the case. But here's the difference with Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley, and why I put the date and time up there. And I encourage you to watch, because if you're a boxing fan or an MMA fan, which Tyron Woodley represents, and I believe that's why he's going to be the underdog, because he won't be able to use all those things that he uses in MMA. If you disagree with me, leave a comment. I want to hear what you have to say. All right, all over the world, make sure, leave a comment. Who do you think is going to win? But let me go back to this. The reason I feel that this narrative is different from his brother, and this fight will be real, it has come out now that there's a possibility that Jake Paul is PEDing. In other words, there's accusations that he's taking certain drugs to enhance his ability to make sure that he can defeat Tyron Woodley. It's just called doping. And right now, unto today, he has not tested before this fight. Now, that is unheard of. And one of the ways that he can get away with it, because the magnitude of this fight and where it rests, is because Tyron Woodley and the payday is not and his camp is not really paying attention, because they see it as an entertaining sport, to where they're not looking at the sanctions of it. Because if he's doping, all right, he's taking PEDs, performance enhancement drugs. If he's doing that, then there's a possibility he's going to destroy Tyron Woodley. And Tyron Woodley, as an MMA fighter, is very good, but he's good for what? Grappling. He's good for ground and pound. He's good for all those things. But as a stand-up striker, he's not the best. I've seen his head get knocked off. All right, he's a little strong brother, though. Don't let me say that. And I'm totally for him. But he and his camp need to come to light and understand that they need to really look at this. And if this is the case, they need to make sure that Jake Paul is tested before they get in that ring. Because, wait a minute, you must say, well, Big J, do performance-enhancing drugs make that big of a difference? Well, ask some of the NFL players many years ago who are on them. And then you look at them today after they retired. They played the game at 360 pounds, 6'3", 6'4". But when they retire now, all of a sudden they're at their natural body weight, 195 pounds. You ask those individuals, and then you ask what it does to their psyche and their understanding. So performance-enhancing drugs make a big deal. All right? So make sure that you tuned into this fight. You don't want to miss this fight. Again, the date is August the 29th. The start time is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't miss this, because this is going to be the real deal. Jake Paul can fight. And so if you've seen some of his fights, his fights that are not regulated, he can fight. But he selected Tyron Woodley. And now there's other individuals who want to fight the Paul brothers because of the bags that come along with the narrative of these fights. So again, make sure that you are tuned in. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to come on later on and talk about track and field on tomorrow. Who's going to be racing, who's not going to be racing, and what we need to look for tomorrow. I've been asked if Sha'Carri Richardson is going to race. I was told that she pulled out. The reasoning, I don't know, but that's not my concern. If those young ladies from Jamaica and those from the USA are not that tired and they're going to run, they're proving something to the world. And we need to stay tuned in so we can see what that something is. And you've been on with Big J. And you know what I'm going to say right here. Be the best, and the best you will become. Yay, yay. Have a great day.